We're rolling.
What's up? It's Sammy, the Spanish guy Gabar, and new TNT champion. And you, yes, you, right now are listening to the
Bob Culture Podcast.
Bob Culture Podcast.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Nothing between the lines of the page or at a time. Forgiveness is for angels with its angel spell out of line. Lost in no second chance or redemption can be found. Taking care of the devil and the devil is running you down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to a very special, undeniable edition of the BCP right here, right now, brought to you by our good friends. I know you know this store, Kenny Pete, at Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore at Englishtown Flea Market, the Blue Building here in New Jersey. Saturday and Sundays, they are open to 3. They also have an awesome selection of wrestling figures. I'm looking at all the stuff I bought from them. Pop Funkos, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joes, Ghostbusters, X-Men. It is literally my whole childhood. It is my favorite store. And I'll introduce our guest at this time because I know you want to talk about Funkenstein too. I see you there all the time. Our good friend, you know him as the drummer of Dub Proof, the band. Check them out here in the New Jersey and Northeast scene. You know him as our BCP correspondent and wrestling aficionado himself, Mr. Kenny Pete. Kenny, welcome in, man. How are you, bro? Oh, it's Umaga.
Wonderful, man. Thank you. Thank you for the tremendous intro. I will make sure not to have Umaga give you the Asiatic spike to the neck.
I miss Umaga, man. He was the best.
I miss Umaga too, man. He was one of my personal favorites. December 4th, I played a show at the Stone Pony, December 4th, triumphant evening, very good night. We played great, good house, everything else. Came home, checked the internet, and the first headline on it was Umaga has passed away. And I was like, it was like thrill of victory, agony of defeat. But we love Umaga, rest in peace. Purchased at the Funkenstein.
I was going to, you beat me to it. Shameless. You know what you're doing.
Purchased at Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. They are tremendous people. I know they just picked up a bunch of 2016 elites and a bunch of jacks.
Okay.
I saw they had a sweet Mr. Fuji Jack's Classic mint on card.
Okay.
They had copies of Ultramantis Black's album on CD. They had a lucha mask with a bunch of numbers on it by a guy named, I think, the Mathematician from like the mid 90s.
Guys, check it out.
They got
in store. It's on eBay. They got an eBay store. Check them out if you're not here in New Jersey. But thank you guys for all your support. Always taking good care of us. We try to get there every Sunday. And happy belated birthday, Heather. Happy birthday. So thank you guys so much for everything. But right now, we are here to talk about, of course, Dropkick Depression putting on Undeniable Saturday, April 30th. It's going to be at 61 Pine Street here in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Tickets are $20 at the store. And this is a fundraiser with proceeds going to WomanSpace, I should say, which is totally amazing. Kenny and I were talking about this event. Kenny, you got behind this thing right away, man. There's some amazing women's wrestlers here from the Northeast and all over. A lot of national names on this as well. It's going to be a great event. Kenny, I want to thank you, man, for bringing this to my attention. The BCP will also be sponsoring the event, which is awesome. Again, everything going right to WomanSpace, which is amazing. Kenny, what about this caught your eye, man? And thank you for bringing this to my attention, man.
Oh, absolutely. You're welcome. And again, I say thanks again for having me. I know Bob Culture Pod's got super busy, so I'm glad you're able to work.
Dude, you're an A+ player here. Please, you're part of the team.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Dropkick Depression is an excellent company that I've been to all of their shows in Old Bridge. They are super fun. They're super good time. And this is going to be an excellent event for a tremendous cause, WomanSpace, New Jersey shelter. 6:30 doors, 7 p.m. bell. $20 at the door, Old Bridge, New Jersey, right off Route 18. It's an excellent building. There's going to be a full bar, 2 food trucks, family-friendly action, and the whole night's going to be a lot of fun. So, and if you happen to not be able to attend, you can always hit tinyurl.com/DD Clothing Drive, which is a direct link to their Amazon wish list. That link will be in the notes of the show, or right down here or there where I'm pointing. Boom.
It's like the Brady Bunch. I'll get it in there. I got you, bro.
Tremendous event. And basically, I got into watching independent wrestling about 12 years ago. And my first real live show that I connected with was the first night of King of Trios 2011 in April. In fact, it just passed. The anniversary just passed a couple weeks ago. And Chikara was just like a different type of show. It wasn't your traditional just indie wrestling show. It was lots of colors, lots of bright characters, lots of hard-nosed action, lots of really great stories that, you know, didn't insult your intelligence as a wrestling fan. And like of all of the great things and the great performers and the great, like, that was sort of the filter within which I got into independent wrestling. And like, now it's been a couple of years, Chikara's not around anymore, but that vibe is still sort of, there are a few places that still keep that torch lit of that same like family friendly, action packed, you know, colorful, over the top character attitude. And that's Blitzkrieg Pro in New England. That's the LVAC in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and that's Dropkick Depression in Old Bridge, New Jersey. And I've been to a ton of their shows, and the people that I see at Dropkick Depression shows are some of my old friends that I used to see all the time on Wingate Street that I don't ever get to see at other wrestling shows anymore, because that style of wrestling is, you know, not being presented as much as it should be.
Right.
And it's like a whole audience of wrestling fans that are not being served properly, but Dropkick Depression is doing it right. And that's why this show, April 30th in Old Bridge, is going to be tremendous.
What a roster too, man. Like, I'm looking at the card. We'll run it down. I don't want to bury the lead here. Also got to say, we mentioned WomanSpace. I do know some people that work there. Again, WomanSpace is a leading not-for-profit agency providing a comprehensive array of service, totally not reading this, to individuals impacted by domestic and sexual violence, and dedicated to improving the quality of life for women and their families. So again, thank you, Dropkick Depression, as always, for doing this for a great cause. I'm always about, you know, you have a platform, especially in wrestling, you know, use it for good. It's all about smiles on faces and using your platform. So we do appreciate that. We're happy to be involved. And Kenny Pete, man, so many names on this card. We'll go down, guys. Again, this event is not going to be streaming live. It will be available down the line, but we want you in the building. You got to come see it live. Some of my favorite, dude, as a commentator, I try to be impartial. I really do, but there's so many favorites on this list. Like, who stands out to you? Like, we'll go through the matches, but like, who you going to see? Let's be real.
I mean, I'm definitely excited to see in the main event Rachael Ellering. I have not seen her wrestle in person. If I have, it was like an NXT house show from a few years ago, where it was just like your NXT house show tag match. This is now she will be able to truly express herself as a performer and not be forced to use the wrestling style within the confines of NXT. She'll actually be able to really stretch it out, and being in there with a first-class talent in Riley Shepard, it's going to be a fantastic match. Another killer undercard match that I'm very much looking forward to. You have New England stalwart Davienne taking on the current Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion, New Jersey's own Tasha Steele's, the Flava, bringing it. I mean, Tasha Steele's, I've seen her wrestle live in person many times, as well as her exploits all over the world and on television. She's a tremendous talent, and she was somebody who I saw very early on. I saw her perform, and I was like, "Oh, that girl's got something. She's gonna be moving some things." And here we are now. She's walking in the champ, so that's gonna be tremendous to see.
Yeah, I love that, man. Just piggybacking off what you said. Tasha, former guest of the show. Love Tasha. We see her around here all the time. Even though she's a Heat fan, that's okay. That's okay. We still love you, Tasha. You're amazing. On this show, we talked to her the week she debuted on Impact, her and our good friend, awesome. Kasey Navarro. Thank you, Kasey, for making that happen. Our guy, check him out over on MLW. He's killing it. Both the future of this business. Let's be real. Sure. Tasha coming on the show and saying, you know, she wants to go for it in Impact. And she's saying, I'm going to be a champion. I'm going to do this. And just to see her do that, it's so cool, man. I'm going to have to find the soundbite and send it to her, man. Because it's really cool to see people manifest things and dreams come true. I can't say enough good things about Tasha Steele's. And her opponent, it's going to be great. I know that match is supposed to happen way before. Now we get to see it here. This is really amazing years later. Also, Rachael Ellering, that's going to be great to see in person. And Riley Shepard, someone I'm very familiar with here on the Indies. But Riley, always a lover. Yeah. The gladiator of the geese, the gladiator goddess, however you know her, always a show stealer. The resume, certainly.
The archangel of the Bob Culture podcast.
Yeah, well, Riley and I have had some. She likes to come visit the commentator table when I'm over there, and I usually get things thrown at me. But I try to stay safe behind the commentary table. But I digress.
My stand's only so big.
Yeah,
able to block the flying.
Why does anyone protect me? See, I need like someone to protect. The wrestlers always coming after me, or when you're a commentator, or especially a backstage interviewer, it's like someone had a bad day at work, and it's like they come talk. I'm like, I don't want like any part of this, but
I'm just trying to make sure you can express yourself. I'm not trying to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly. Again, don't want to bury the lead here. Nyla Rose in action. Old Bridge, New Jersey. What a treat for fans. Of course, former AEW Women's Champion was going to take on Willow Nightingale. Willow now unavailable for the show. So there's a mystery opponent. Dude, as a journalist, I don't know anything. I know people. I hear chatter, but I don't got anything for this one. Any ideas or any thoughts? Or I'm trying to think.
It could be anyone, really. I mean, I don't even want to speculate.
Yeah.
I just know that, just seeing Nyla Rose, the Beast, in person is a spectacle. Like, you had to just see, to see this, the irresistible force in person, and in fact, just a quick tidbit. Please. This isn't like your normal wrestling show. In the building that it's in, the ring happens to be a little bit smaller.
Really?
So, like, you're very close to the ring. So like there's no like bad seat in the house, and you're right on top of the action no matter where you are in the room. So to see such a presence as Nyla Rose in this type of environment, like she's built to be performing in huge arenas like she does every Wednesday night. And she's going to be, at the Columbia Club on 61 Pine Street in Old Bridge, New Jersey. It's to see that presence in such an intimate building is something special, and that's something to definitely be remembered.
Yeah, I think you go with the booking, like you got a powerhouse. Do we go with like another powerhouse here on the Indies? Like what, something like that could be very interesting. Do we go for like a fast high flyer? I got some ideas. Maybe someone quick, maybe someone a little mean. I don't know. I'm throwing things in the universe. I really don't know anything. We'll see what happens. You see where I'm going with that one. Let's keep it going here. Let's talk about, I think we have another match with a mystery opponent. Correct me.
Speaking of mysteries, we got a mystery battle royal kicking things off.
Yeah, how does that work? I like who's in it?
We don't know.
It's a mystery.
We don't know what's going to happen. It's a mystery. It's a battle royal. It's going to be a bunch of people, and they're going to be flying everywhere, and that's how the show is starting. So we're already going to start it like up here and then go from there.
And that's opportunity for people. So maybe some up and comers. I got nothing, man, but I'm excited. That's the fun of a battle royal. You never know who's going to be there.
Right. And who doesn't love a great big battle royal on a wrestling show? It's tremendous.
Love it. I love it, man.
So then up next, we got a 6-woman tag team match as we have Gabby Ortiz, Vita Von Star, and Brittany Blake take on Erica Leigh, Katred, and Big Juicy.
Man, talk about favorites.
There's going to be there's a lot of heavy hitters in this one. I'm looking forward to seeing Erica Leigh personally. I'm looking forward to seeing her in person. This will be the first time I'm actually going to get to see her in
action. Are you serious?
In person. I've seen a bunch of her stuff on IWTV for Magic and for Flying V Fights. She is a tag team partner of The Boar.
A wrestling fashion nominee this week, by the way. Congratulations, Boar.
Listen, look, winner. Okay,
winner, it's done.
Nominee, it's The Boar or nobody, bud. Come on. The top hat, the mint, the pink, the snout on the mask. It's not a contest. It's The Boar. It's The Boar.
You ain't wrong. You ain't
Anyway,
wrong.
he's not on the show, but his tag team partner is Erica Leigh, teaming up with Katred and Big Juicy. Also, two newcomers. I'm very looking forward to see what they have going on. You know, Gabby Ortiz is a Spitfire. Vita Von Star and Brittany Blake teaming up is a very cool and unique rock and roll kind of combination that I think is going to be a lot of fun to see. That's going to be a pretty sweet 6-woman tag match.
Yeah, and again, you know, I was got to get the shameless promo in. Gabby, former get multiple time, I guess on the show. We talk to Gabby all the time. I always get to work with Gabby. She's fantastic. Has been doing this for a long time. We saw her on AEW Dark versus Thunder Rosa. So she's been killing it. Vita. Love Vita. I just love her in-ring prowess and her moveset. We got to talk to her, you know, when everything was going down with ROH, and she was so generous to give us her thoughts on that and share her time. And I can't wait to see what's next for her because she's always amazing to see. I love her finisher. Erica, like you said, I feel transcends wrestling. Brilliant mind for the business, but doesn't fall into the cliches of the business and seems to go against the grain. And that's something I always appreciate. One of our favorite interviews to date. She always makes us laugh. And of course, we knew her as the Gummy Bear Kid and always doing those candy reviews. Katred, I saw for the first time at Pro Wrestling Magic, I believe it was not too long ago. I was very impressed by her. Big Juicy, I'm not as familiar with, but very excited to see. And Brittany Blake, like you said, all over here, the Northeast Indies. So this match, I mean, it's going to be weird with all these like moving parts and different partnerships. I think these almost strange bedfellow partnerships could be what costs a team because there's not a lot of chemistry here, but this should be a really cool match.
Yeah, and it's and at the same time, you never know if people are going to gel right away.
Right.
And if they do, it's like magic when it happens right in front of your face. And like, that's what's cool about, you know, shows like this in that it's sort of like, we have all these cool pieces. How are we going to put them all together that's unique and different that nobody else would think to do? So, you know, it's again that cool outside of the box presentation. And I mean, I know there's going to be a ton of comedy involved with a lot of stuff. Not to say that this is going to be like a comedy match per se, but I'm saying throughout the show, the history of like Dropkick Depression shows, they do exactly that. They drop kick your depression for 3 hours because you do nothing but laugh the entire time. Like it's just goof after goof after goof after goof. You know, like I believe it was on the first show. It was either on the first show or the second show. Quick sidebar. Go check it out on IWTV. But I believe it was Super Comp Dick Justice versus that old juke joint Lucas Calhoun. And they spent 8 minutes punching each other in the junk. And I just watched the bartender watch the match because that was almost as fun as watching the match itself. So there are going to be moments like that where it's going to be just super funny, super weird, super off the wall. And to just look at other people who don't usually watch wrestling, to look at them and watch their reaction is a great big laugh and a hoot and a good time as well. So there's all kinds of great, you know, they're truly going out of their way to make sure that whatever it is bothering you or whatever is weighing you down, you can come to this show, laugh, have a good time, forget about your issues, and have it all benefit WomanSpace at the same time. So it's a can't lose.
I love it. Very well said, man. And I always encourage people that are looking for something to do on the weekend that haven't gone to a wrestling show. It's really, really fun. And Kenny and I know the local music scene so well. And we're always, you know, in and out of, you know, these venues and bars and whatnot and checking out all this music. And the wrestling, it's just something special about it. There's something very different about it. And you can see me smiling, man, because just so many of the people that we mentioned on this card are just amazing performers. They're amazing humans. They're so amazingly talented. And I always encourage people, if you're going to check out a wrestling show, go, you know, for a great cause. We just did one for the EMS. We raised over $2,500 for the cause, the Bayville EMS. This one now for Dropkick Depression for WomanSpace. This is amazing. Come check it out. $20 at the door. It's worth every dollar.
This is a perfect wrestling show for non-wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Like for people who just want to go out and be entertained for 3 hours, have some drinks, enjoy some food from the food trucks that are there. Last time they were there, they had a vegan seitan, and then the other food truck was gourmet donuts. I know how much you love gourmet donuts.
I do.
So I mean,
yes, guilty.
you can't go wrong. It's a great little building. It's an excellent show. They're gonna have great food and drink. I mean, if you want to just go and laugh and be entertained, all while helping a good cause, Dropkick Depression is exactly where you got to be this Saturday.
I concur, man. Where you want to go next, man? We got a couple more matches to cover here, man.
We got a killer tag team match coming up right here. We have Ziggy Haim and Abby Jane taking on Edith Surreal and Shay McCoy. So very familiar with Ziggy Haim as I'm a big fan of Absolute Intense Wrestling in Cleveland, Ohio. She's in a team with Derek Dillinger, and they have a great little act going on there. And Ziggy Haim and Edith Surreal also have a killer feud going on in the Pittsburgh-based Enjoy Wrestling, which is available on YouTube. So they've had some killer matches that are out there now. Anybody can check out, but. So Edith Surreal and Shay McCoy, both, and Abby Jane as well, all Wrestle Factory graduates, all people like Shay McCoy used to, take names at the front door at Wrestle Factory shows. And now I've got to see her wrestle. Edith Surreal, the former Still Life with Apricots and Pears, like I saw them on a show in... where was it? I think it was at a gym in the Poconos. It was when Blank, Still Life with Apricots and Pears, and Ursa Minor, they spent intermission in the lobby of this gymnasium with markers asking children to draw on their all-white outfits. And then as soon as they would draw on them, they would say, no, not like that, like this, and then draw on themselves, or like they basically did like live art sculpture, this weird thing during intermission that like never happens at any other wrestling shows. Cause it's one of those things.
I appreciate the outside the box thinking always.
And all these years later, now Shay McCoy is teaming up with Edith Surreal, who's completely changed her character, completely reinvented herself, and done all kinds of incredible things, taking on Abby Jane, who's a newcomer on the scene, lightning on fire, technical wizard, and Ziggy Haim will basically do whatever to win. So like this is going to be an incredible tag match. I'm very excited. I can't even pick a winner. I'm just excited to see what is going to happen in this contest.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. Man, so many things I say. Ziggy, love her moveset. Edith Surreal, we've seen all over here in the Northeast. Abby Jane is going to be a star. Abby Jane is just killing it. Don't count Abby Jane out. This is going to be a really, really good. They're all good matches. Let's be real here. It's going to be super, super fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to that tag match a lot because it's people I've seen, women I've watched for years, and I'm super excited to see them and be a part of the show. It's going to be awesome, man. And we can't forget about this one. Bonesaw Brooks, who has just some amazing suplexes versus Isana versus Adena Steele, friend of the show. Love Adena versus another mystery opponent, man.
Questions. All kinds of questions are going to be answered this Saturday night, 61 Pine Street in Holbridge, New Jersey. You got to go to the show.
I like it when cards have a lot of mystery opponents, man. That's like the fun of it,
Yeah, because you never know what's going to happen. I would love if they do the gimmick where they're for at least one of them where they have put names in a hat and they pull out the name of the hat and the first name's like Asuka. Somebody runs to the locker room. Oh, Asuka's not here.
Yeah, I'm here for that. Yeah,
pick out a name and they say Ruby Riott. They run in the back. Ruby Riott's not here.
Just Mister.
Then, pick out the third name and the third name is. Whoever. So that would be,
I don't know. Sometimes I know things. I do not know things. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you, but
no idea. Totally along for the ride and looking forward to this. But I can definitely say that Bonesaw Brooks is going to be doling out suplexes like it was Red Hook, New York in 1998. So watch, tuck your chin, ladies. Be ready.
Wow. And don't count out Adena Steele, who was just one of my favorites here in the Northeast, always just as a positive personality and just a light in this business. But then between that rope, she is a force to be reckoned with. Watch out for that plot twist. Adena's quick. You got to keep an eye on her, and it's going to be tricky. Like we said earlier, you don't know who that mystery opponent is. So
Woman herself.
But how do you prepare for a mystery opponent, Very interesting.
Just be ready. Stay on your toes. Couple extra squats in the gym, couple extra curls or something. I don't know. I'm sorry. I should probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm usually not in the gym, and I probably should be. But I digress. Let's talk about Terra Callway, who had a big hand in this event, and thank you for everything that you do, versus a good friend and another person who's a light. Someone I always hold in very high regard, and at the same time is a certified badass, Mrs. Kasey Catal. Man, I am stoked for this one.
This has been a long running program here in Old Bridge. Dropkick Depression. Kasey Catal has been running buck wild all over the Knights of Columbus. The last Dropkick Depression show, her and her, I don't want to say better half, but that guy, Brandon.
Wow.
Assaulted Razorwing, the Dropkick Depression champion, cut his hair and left him bleeding. It was a very, 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 very gruesome scene at the hands of the Kirks. And so I think Terra Callway is going to be out to dole out some payback for her man busting up her champion of Dropkick Depression. So I think this one's going to go real hard. There is no love lost between these women, and this is going to be, I think, the stiffest / most brutal / most hardcore.
Yeah,
here comes the table stuff going on. This is going to be a stiff one, and it's going to be intense, and it's going to be a sight to see.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. And again, I'm very excited for this one personally, but there's a lot of great matches. I do want to say, I don't know if there's an intermission or pre-show or meet and greet in any form
there will
or fashion.
Most likely be an intermission.
I'm sure there will be. Please support a lot of these ladies and a lot of these talents, because this is really cool. We have a lot of 8x10s over here from a lot of people on this show, man. We always try to support everybody. Again, happy to sponsor the show. Guys, do what you can. If you have a platform, maybe sponsor the show as well. Support. I think they're running some auctions on eBay, or they have some auctions not on eBay, but they're selling some like
tinyurl.com/DD clothing drive, which is a direct link to the Amazon wish list. Great way to be able to donate. At this point, online ticket sales are no longer. It's going to be showing up to 61 Pine Street in Old Bridge, New Jersey. 6:30 doors, 7 p.m. bell. $20 at the door, and you are going to get all that and then some for a wonderful evening of professional wrestling entertainment, on top of it being a tremendous benefit, as we've mentioned many times.
And Kenny Pete will be there, correct?
Yes, I will be there in the house. I have not missed an Old Bridge show yet, and I don't plan on missing this one at all. I'm very, very excited to see this, and very thankful for Bob here having me here to talk about it.
Dude, stop. No, this is all
I'm here. I just want people to go as many people to hear about it and know about it and attend it and support it, because that's what it's all about. Good things.
And I appreciate you putting this together and approaching me about this. And I had some friends involved, and you kept me on top of this, man. I'm glad that we're involved. I'm glad that you put this together. We can go down the card again. Kenny Pete will be in attendance with 8x10s. I think he has a signing before.
No 8x10s.
No, he's handing out demo CDs or something.
No way.
No, okay.
We'll do some photo ops if you're into it.
Yeah, I'm in for that. But Kenny, thank you so much for taking the time, man. Like I said, you are an A+ player here in the BCP. We may have some other things in the works for you. We'll see what happens coming up. I know I got some big interviews. You always do a great job with that, man. And just thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate you, man.
Hey, thank you, Rob. I really appreciate it. Like I say, this is an awesome thing that you built for a super long time. And I'm just happy for you to be able to take the time so we can spread the word, my friend.
What it's all about. Very well said. And thank you for your time, man. And guys, again, check out the show. You know what it is. End of the month, April 30th, Old Bridge, New Jersey. Dropkick Depression for WomanSpace. undeniable. It's going to be a great event. Ton of stellar talent. Check it out now. And guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace.
Nothing between the